Hey friends, welcome back. Today's summary is a mix of betrayal and love. It tells the story of a woman who finds out her husband has been unfaithful, so she decides to move to the city and start a new life. She meets a young man and hires him as a nanny for her kids while she returns to work. But the ending is a sad one, so what will happen? Let's find out. The movie begins with Sandy, who is sitting and watching videos from her son's birthday. By chance, she finds a video among them showing her husband cheating on her with one of her friends, right during her son's birthday party. At that exact time, she was in the other room with her son and his friends. Sandy decides to get a divorce. She leaves the house and moves with her kids to New York City to start a new life. On the streets of New York, we meet a young man named Adam, who's walking with his parents. Adam has recently separated from his wife, Elise, but his parents aren't happy about the split. They say she was a sweet girl, but Adam tells them she was only with him to get legal residency. She never really loved him. His mom tells him she set up a job interview for him at a women's center, but Adam isn't into the idea and says he's happy working at the cafe. His mom insists, saying he's a college graduate and that working at a cafe doesn't suit him. His dad also tries to convince him, saying he could actually apply what he studied at college to helping women at the center. At the same time, Sandy goes for a job interview as a data analyst so she can support her kids on her own. The interviewer doubts she can do the job since she has no formal experience in the field, but Sandy shows him some work she did on her own, and he's seriously impressed. He hires her. Meanwhile, Adam finally agrees with his parents and goes to the interview his mom mentioned. After a few simple questions, he gets hired. He then returns to the cafe where he used to work and talks with his friend Hainer, who tells him he needs to focus on his future and forget about the wife who used him. Hainer urges him to get a real job, move out of his parents' house, and become independent. Just then, Sandy walks into the cafe with her kids and tells Hainer she saw a sign that the cafe owner has an apartment for rent. Hainer says the owner isn't around but offers to show her the place himself. He jokes that if she needs someone to watch the kids, Adam is pretty good at that and could help. But Sandy takes it seriously and says she'll think about it. Sandy checks out the apartment, likes it, and decides to take it. Later, she goes to the gym with a friend and tells her that she found a place for her and the kids and even got a job at a big company. She says she feels her life is finally turning around after the divorce. Her friend can't believe she adjusted so quickly. They leave the gym and head to a cafe for drinks. There, the friend tells her the only thing left is for her to meet a man she can actually love. Sandy tries to avoid the topic, but her friend tells her she already set her up on a date with a doctor she knows. At that moment, Sandy spots Adam and tells her friend she recognizes him from the apartment ad. Her friend says he looks too young for her, then calls out to him. Sandy suddenly chases after him, but doesn't find anyone. Meanwhile, Adam takes his friend's advice seriously and heads to the new job. His manager tells him they usually offer training first, but there's no time right now. He needs to start immediately. She gives him a uniform and sends him to the self-defense room. Adam is confused, but goes anyway. Meanwhile, Sandy and her kids are also at the same center. Adam puts on the protective suit and enters the training room. The self-defense instructor arrives and starts acting out harassment scenarios with him to teach the women how to defend themselves. The exercises are hands-on, and Adam is the dummy. The instructor then introduces a drill called the Ring of Rage, saying it helps release inner anger. She asks for a volunteer, and Sandy raises her hand. When she stands in front of Adam, she starts remembering her husband's betrayal and sees flashbacks of the videos she found. She completely loses it and starts attacking Adam like he's her ex-husband. She keeps hitting him for a while until she's totally exhausted. Then, she breaks down in tears. Adam realizes she's crying. Later on, Sandy shows up at the cafe where Adam works and tells him she's been going through a rough time. She apologizes for what happened and gives him a gift. She also asks if he can babysit her kids on Thursday. It's clear Sandy took Hainer's joke seriously and assumed Adam was a babysitter. The kids find out she's going on a date, and Adam agrees to help. She leaves. Thursday comes, and Adam shows up at Sandy's place. She explains the kids' bedtime schedule, and what's allowed or not allowed. She tells him she doesn't really want to go out on this date, but her friend pushed her into it, and even picked the time. Adam tells her to just go, everything will be fine. Sandy heads out with the guy her friend set her up with. As they walk, they start talking and getting to know each other. Suddenly, the guy asks to use the bathroom. When he comes out, he touches her face and starts complimenting her beauty. Sandy is totally creeped out. Later at the restaurant, he does the same thing again, making her even more uncomfortable. Eventually, he gets in the taxi with her and tries to kiss her. She's completely grossed out, jumps out of the car, and heads back to her apartment upset and angry. She feels disgusted that things reached the point where she went out with a guy that sleazy. Adam hears her ranting but doesn't fully understand what she's saying. She then asks if he can come back the next day to watch her kids again. She says she doesn't have the money to pay him right now, but will give it to him tomorrow. Adam says it's no problem and agrees to come. The next day, Adam was working at the cafe, chatting with his friend, when suddenly Sandy's kids showed up. They told him to hurry because their mom had died. Adam ran with them like crazy to the house, but when he entered the bedroom, he found Sandy moving. He told the kids she wasn't dead, she was just drunk. Adam tried to wake her up, and when she did, she asked if anything had happened between them. He told her nothing had happened. Then she asked him to take her kids to school because she was late for work, and Adam agreed. Sandy went to her company and started her day. Later, her manager called her into the office. Sandy felt nervous, thinking she was going to be fired. But to her surprise, her boss told her she was giving her a chance to write episodes for their show, saying she saw real writing talent in her. Sandy was so thankful and said she really needed that promotion. After work, Sandy went out to a restaurant with Adam and the kids to celebrate. She told her kids about the promotion and that she'd be writing for a TV program. Everyone was thrilled. Adam told her she had a beautiful face and that one day, she'd probably be hosting the show she writes for. As they were leaving the restaurant, Adam noticed how organized she was, and that it was the first time she didn't take her kids to school herself. She apologized, saying she had no choice. Adam said there was no need to explain. He understood because he'd felt the same way after his own divorce. Sandy was shocked to learn he'd been married and divorced, especially at his age. Adam told her he had married a girl named Elise, but it was a very short marriage. She had used him just to get legal residency. She was French and needed to stay in the US. The easiest way was to marry an American. But then he found out she was cheating on him with her cousin, so he let her stay to complete her residency and later divorced her so she wouldn't get deported. Sandy laughed and said she was the opposite. She wished she could deport her ex-husband. Then she asked Adam if he could take care of her kids daily because her new job would take up more of her time. Adam immediately agreed. Later that night, when Adam got home, his parents were there, and they were totally against the idea. They said they hadn't put him through college just to become a babysitter. Adam tried to explain that this family needed him, that Sandy was recently divorced, had a new job, and trusted him with her kids. His parents reluctantly agreed, but only if he kept interviewing for better jobs and remembered this was temporary. Sandy went out again with her friend and two other guys, though her friend had set up the whole thing without telling her. When the guys stepped out for a smoke, Sandy made fun of them, saying they were arrogant and had an outdated attitude. At that moment, she got a message from Adam, who was home with the kids. Her friend assumed she was dating him, but Sandy explained he was just checking in and updating her about the kids. Her friend said that if she was dating him, it would still be better than the two guys they were out with. Then she added that Adam was only 24 years old, and there was a big age gap between them. The next day, Sandy went to work and called Adam to check on her kids. She told him she'd be late because she had a news story to write for the show. She asked him to stay with the kids, make them dinner, and put them to bed. Adam agreed, then hung up and went back to playing with the kids. When Sandy got home from work, she found Adam asleep on the couch. She apologized for being late, but he told her it was fine, and he'd even made her dinner and left it on the table. She thanked him and gave him 2 boxing match tickets, saying she couldn't go because her friend was busy and that she'd been going out a lot lately. Adam took the tickets, but before leaving, he came back and asked if she was free on Saturday. He had another 2 tickets and wanted to invite her to go with him. When they went out, Sandy was really happy and told him she hadn't felt this happy in a long time, not even with her ex-husband. She said she never even got the chance to tell her ex how unhappy she was, and that with Adam, she finally felt like she could talk and express herself. While they were talking, someone who knew Adam came up and said he was the only person who turned down their job offer after being accepted. He handed Adam his business card and told him, "If you change your mind, give me a call." Sandy was shocked that Adam had turned down a big job offer just to take care of her kids. But Adam told her that when he's with her and the kids, he feels truly happy, and that's what really matters to him. Sandy started to fall for him, and told him it's incredibly rare to find someone like him. Right then, the boxing match ended, and one of the fighters got knocked out so hard that Adam fainted. Sandy took him back to her place because he was hurt and having trouble seeing. Suddenly, Sandy hears the apartment door open, and her kid's dad walks in with the children. He tells Sandy he's been in town for a short time, and the kids' behavior on the bus has gotten really bad. When they see Adam sleeping on the couch, they run to him. Their dad takes them inside to put them to bed. Adam steps outside and finds Sandy unable to speak because she was about to tell him she needs to release the anger inside her. He offers to help and starts cursing her husband for her. He says she wanted to say all the insults she'd shouted at her husband when she was hitting him. Sandy gets fired up and begins cursing him loudly, continuing outside the apartment. She even leans out the window to keep shouting at him. Then she comes back to Adam and tells him they're going out together tomorrow. The next day, Adam is at the cafe telling his friend Henry that he's going out with Sandy. Henry is surprised and says, "She's a woman in her 60s with kids." Adam replies, "She's only in her 40s and has 2 kids. Henry gets annoyed because he had a theater show that night and had given Adam a ticket. Adam says he'll take Sandy with him so Henry doesn't get upset. But the play turns out to be really boring, and Henry's performance is dull too. After the show, Henry invites them to celebrate, and they go with him. Adam goes to get something to drink, and by chance, he runs into his ex-wife Alice there. She tells him she's been thinking about him lately, wants to apologize, and hopes to get back together. Adam isn't interested and leaves her behind. The next day, Sandy is at the gym with her friend and tells her they're dating and planning to go out. Her friend says Adam is young and probably not the right guy for her, which annoys Sandy, but she's determined to go out with him anyway. They go to Adam's house to celebrate his birthday, which gives his family a chance to meet Sandy. They chat and give him birthday presents. After the party, they leave. Later, Sandy's manager invites her to dinner and brings Adam along. Everyone is surprised at their age difference. Someone starts mocking Adam and asks him to bring Pepsi instead of alcohol. The manager says Adam is the age of her son. Adam responds by telling the man that the Pepsi is cut, a slang implying it's not good, that he clearly doesn't know what he's talking about, then asks for the man's glasses to read the menu. He jokes that he doesn't need old folks' glasses because he's still young. Everyone laughs, and Adam leaves the place. Sandy is happy he knew how to handle them. She then asks Adam why he doesn't live like young guys his age, travel the world, enjoy life, and stay away from her. He tells her that the happiest moments of his life are the ones he spends with her. The next day, Sandy is at work walking with her manager, who notices she looks tired and asks if she's okay. Sandy says she's just exhausted from work, but her manager suspects she might be pregnant. Sandy goes home and takes a pregnancy test, shocked to find out she really is pregnant. She hesitates about telling Adam but finally does. Adam is surprised at first, and Sandy thinks he's upset, but he reassures her it's the happiest moment of his life and that he's thrilled to be a dad, especially with her. The next day, they visit the doctor to check on the pregnancy. The doctor says Sandy is healthy and that's a good sign, but then surprises them by saying it's a false pregnancy, There's actually no baby. Sandy is devastated, storms out of the clinic, and talks to herself, saying, "What am I doing?" She tells Adam it was a mistake, that it shouldn't have happened, that he's young, and that she feels like she's taking advantage of him. She also says he still lives with his parents. Adam says maybe he still lives with his parents and works for her, but he loves her, and the problem is she doesn't know if she loves him back. Sandy says she loves him and her kids love him, but she doesn't see a future for them together. She says goodbye and walks away. After they separate, each lives their own life. Adam accepts the job he had previously refused and decides to follow Sandy's advice, to travel and see the world. He visits many countries, and everywhere he goes, he thinks about Sandy. Meanwhile, Sandy has been promoted at work and has started appearing on TV, just like Adam predicted. She spends more time with her kids. One day, at a work party, the channel owner and her manager surprise Sandy by announcing that she will be the new host of the show. Sandy celebrates this promotion with her manager and kids at a restaurant. She excuses herself to go to the bathroom and runs into Adam there. They greet each other warmly, and Sandy tells him everything that's happened recently: her promotion, the kids growing up, and her daughter graduating. Adam says he saw her on TV and tells her about his life, how he listened to her advice, and traveled around the world. Then a kid talking to Adam interrupts them. Adam introduces Sandy to his son. Sandy is shocked and asks if he got married. Adam says no, that's his son, whom he met in one of the countries he traveled to. Sandy smiles and asks if the boy has a mother. Adam says they live together alone, and he hasn't found the right woman yet. Sandy is happy and says she hasn't met anyone suitable herself lately. Then Adam's mother arrives and says, "I know you, Sandy." She remembers her because Adam talks about her every day. She invites Sandy and her kids to join them, and Sandy's mom agrees right away. They all sit together. And that's where a new life begins between Adam and Sandy. And that's the end of the movie. Don't forget, if you liked it, hit like, leave your comment, and I'll reply to everyone. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel.